How's it going, everybody? I'm Niko Tamurian from KOMO News in Seattle.
And I'm Nicole Menner from NBC 10 News in Providence, Rhode Island.
That's right. We go back a long ways, and now the teams we cover are meeting in the big game. So it's a lot of fun for us, but also, gosh, what a matchup. Really close call in any way you look at it. To me, I think it comes down to an X factor. So with that in mind, Nicole, what might be that X factor for the Patriots?
I think it's the Patriots' defense. I mean, we've spent so much time during the regular season talking about Drake May and the offense because that's how they won most of their games. But through the playoffs, the story's been the defense. So I think putting the pressure on Sam Darnold will be a key for the Patriots on Sunday.
You know, not to copy your answer, but I think it's the same thing for the Seahawks. The dark side defense, cool nickname, right? They wanted to have their own identity. Remember the Legion of Boom years? Well, of course, New England folks do because Super Bowl 49, right? But they wanted to have their own identity, and it is a lights-out defense. That's why they have the name. But here's the thing. One of the keys they do is they really like to disguise things. They like to fool things. Here's one example of the regular season. Now, eventually get to the point here. They were playing the Arizona Cardinals. It was Jacoby Brissett. And Mike McDonald pulled out a blitz that he had literally not run in his, at that point, season and a half in Seattle. The result, they called it twice. Both times, linebacker Tyrese Knight sacked Brissett, forced a fumble, and both times, DeMarcus Lawrence picked it up and ran it back. And the guy had never called that scheme before. And that's kind of the genius of Mike McDonald as the Seahawks head coach at defensive guru. Now, here's the thing, though. And he has said this all week. Drake May is one of the smartest quarterbacks he's seen. And he said, you can't fool this guy. To think you're going to fool him, it would be a stupid idea. So that's the idea. So I'm like, okay, so how are they going to defend this Patriots offense?
Well, speaking of coaches, I think Josh McDaniels also on the other side. He could pull out some tricks. He's won a handful of Super Bowls. He's one of the big reasons that Drake May has taken this leap in year two. So I also think it could come down to the coaching matchups and also Mike Vrabel and what he's done with the defense. But I think, these two teams, not teams that anyone expected to be in this position on Sunday. They're pretty evenly matched. So we're hoping for a close game.
I love this story. To that note, Jack Westover, your tight end from the Seattle area, and his sister before the season, you hear about this?
We talked to him yesterday about this, actually,
Yeah, $5 bet, won $18,000. Like, this is crazy. But I think it's a testament to, like you said, the coaching culture, Mike Vrabel doing his thing, Mike McDonald doing his thing. These are two teams that deserve to be there. And on that end, I think it's going to be a close matchup. And as far as, an X factor is concerned in that way, special teams could be key in this one. For the Seahawks, Rashid Shaheed, midseason acquisition. It's been a revelation. He's returned 3 kicks for scores, and they've all been clutch. They broke a tie at halftime against the Falcons. The big one, they're down 30-14 against the Rams. He returns a punt, and all of a sudden they're back within 1 score. And, of course, the way he started the divisional round game against the Niners had that place shaking. So I think that's something for the Seahawks.
For sure, and I was just talking to Marcus Jones about this yesterday. I asked him about Rashid Shaheed, but he's returned a few punts for a touchdown this season too. And I think this is a game where special teams could really flip the game on its head. So it's fun that they have 2 weapons on teams in Shaheed and Jones who could make an impact. And then the Patriots have a rookie kicker who's been pretty lights out this season. Right. And I caught up with him in the rest of the special teams unit today, and they really like that there's a nice weather factor in play because the Patriots had to play in some really rough conditions. I think we saw that impact them in Denver a few weeks ago. So
yeah, no snow for the Seahawks this season. Maybe its first punt return for a touchdown wins the game.
I mean, that would certainly be exciting, wouldn't it be?
Now, what about the way that the Patriots have won games? And I'll bring the question from the perspective of the Seahawks fans that this team has won games in all sorts of ways. The Colts came in with Phillip Rivers out of retirement. They didn't score a touchdown the whole game, but they kicked 6 field goals. And it's a game they probably, at least on paper, should have won by more. Then there's that Rams game I referenced. They were down by 16 points in the fourth quarter. They somehow got out a win. Or they ran past the 49ers, maybe an injury-depleted 49ers team, but a playoff team nonetheless. So one of the superpowers, so to speak, of the Seahawks is their ability to win games in a plethora of different ways. What would you say about New England and the way they've kind of gutted out a lot of these wins this season?
Well, I think for the Patriots in the regular season, they played, I think you've probably heard all the talk about the schedule they had and how it was one of the easiest in NFL history. So they did have a lot of blowout wins. That's why I think last month was so important, because they were winning games in ways that they hadn't all season. Low scoring, the defense getting it done. And I think that really helped prep them for this because, they have had to face some adversity in the regular season, but not as much as they did in the playoffs. And I think that was pretty critical. But they did get big wins on the road, Week 5 in Buffalo. Yeah. Really hostile environment there, as I'm sure you know. And a lot of guys point to that as being the turning point of the season, even though it was only Week 5.
And that's the point you just made is why I've really just blocked out any of the stuff on social about the schedule. I don't care about the schedule. They beat the Bills. Seahawks beat the Rams. They're beating the rivals. You guys beat the Broncos. Yeah. And it's one of those things that everything we've said, I think, just illustrates how close this matchup is. You want to make a prediction?
Let's make a prediction. And
you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I got to go with the Seahawks.
Yeah, of course.
And then listen, I really respect the Patriots. I think they're a really good football team. I think there's going to be low scoring. Now watch it be like 45-42. But I'm going to say Seahawks 21-17. And again, I think a special teams play will be the difference. Yeah, look at Rashid Shaheed. I love interviewing him. He's a great guy, and he's obviously a lot of fun to watch. Jason Myers has been ultra reliable kicking for them as well. But 21-17 with a special teams play in some way, shape, or form being the difference.
I like that, and I'm going to go higher scoring. I'll go 28-24, so nothing too crazy. But again, warm weather. We were talking before about Drake May, how maybe he doesn't perform as well in the conditions that he has had to face the last month or so, but here it's going to be a beautiful sunny day in California Sunday. Would love to see the offense get going again. He hopefully will find his deep ball and they'll get in a groove again and be able to put up points like we saw all season.
I love that.
28-24.
28-20. Did you pick that score for a reason?
I didn't. Just came to mind.
Just saying, that's familiar to Seattle fans against New England.
Oh, okay, I actually didn't even make that connection. But hey, maybe that's a premonition.
I hope not for Seattle. Maybe for you guys.
One of us will get a parade at the end of the day.
Yes,
and
I'd be happy for you in that way. I might be like cursing under my breath, but I'd be happy for you as a friend. So here's the deal. You guys have great seafood in Providence. We do in Seattle. You want to put a wager on this?
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Name it.
I don't know. We'll do some kind of seafood thing. And of course, the cool thing is they're going to play next season too. Yeah. So we get a rematch of this, however it goes. So there's your preview. It's going to be so evenly matched. How fun was this?
This was so fun. And again, so great to see Niko. We go way back, and here we are about to cover a Super Bowl.
We do. Enjoy the big game. Go Hawks.